Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel where today we are going to be doing a library haul. So every once in a while, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, I get in a mood where I go to the library and everything looks so interesting and I want to read them all. And even though I do limit myself as to how many books I check out, trying to be very realistic about what I can read, I still end up with a stack of books from the library, all of which I'm interested in and do want to read, although I very frequently don't get to quite all of them before I have to take them back. And as of late, I have had one of those moods, and so I thought I would let you know what I have recently picked up and are things that I am likely to be reading pretty soon. Starting with The Merchant and the Rogue by Sarah M. Eden, which is the third book in the Dread Penny Society series. This is a historical romance series that I have been reading, so I read the first two. I know that I like them, and this is just the next one in the series following our Irishman who's in this Dread Penny Society and a character that we haven't met yet. And I'm intrigued to see how this character's romance is going to be handled. So this one was like almost a no-brainer when I saw it on the shelf. And then I also have Passing Strange by Ellen Klages, I think is how the last name is pronounced. This is, from what I understand, a historical fantasy set in like 1940s San Francisco, I believe. And this is one where I read the description and it sounds intriguing, but I still don't quite know what it's about. But at least on the back, it does say 6 women find their lives as tangled with each other as they are with the city they call home. They discover love and danger on the borders where magic, science, and art intersect. That's just a portion of the description, but I think that gives probably a pretty good vibe about what this, I think, novella. It's 215 pages. I think that still qualifies as a novella. But what this historical book is going to be giving. And I have heard that this is very good from a person whose tastes tend to overlap pretty well with mine. So I am excited to give it a shot. And then I also picked up, because it is October, I picked up When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, which says it's a thriller, but I have heard that it reads more as a horror. And it's a horror about gentrification and like when white people move in and like other people go missing and does anybody care kind of thing. That's my understanding, at least. I have wanted to try this for quite a while, and I figured that because it's October and, spooky, scary month, I might try to actually pick this one up now. And then I did pick up another Alyssa Cole, and that is A Princess in Theory, which is an adult contemporary romance. And this one I wanted to pick up because first of all, because I saw it. But I've also been wanting to give Alyssa Cole's full-length romances a try because I've read 2 novellas from her, romance novellas, and neither one quite worked. One was good, but not as a romance, just as like a story. It was good, but not a great romance. And so before I like write off Alyssa Cole as a romance writer form, I don't want to write off Alyssa Cole as a romance writer for me until I have tried a full-length novel. And I know that this one is very popular and it looked interesting, so I am going to give it a try. And then I picked up probably the nerdiest book on this list, which is saying something because I do have some nonfiction in here. But that is the autobiography of Jean-Luc Picard, the story of one of Starfleet's most inspirational captains, edited by David A. Goodman. Now, this is a fictional autobiography of Star Trek. It's a Star Trek captain, right? I saw this and I immediately wanted it in my hands. I am not a hardcore Trekkie, but I did grow up watching Star Trek, and Next Generation was 100% my jam. I never quite got into Voyager or Deep Space Nine, but I loved Next Generation, and so Jean-Luc Picard was my captain. And so I really just want to know what is in here. I am so stupidly excited for this book. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I want it to be soon because this is going to be just a ride and a real treat for my little 12-year-old self. And then I also picked up Sun Daughters, Sea Daughters by Amy Ogden. And this is a science fiction novella that's a reimagining of The Little Mermaid, apparently. But it says, the back says, gene-edited human clans have scattered throughout the galaxy, adapting themselves to environments as severe as the desert and the sea. Atuale, the daughter of a sea clan lord, sparked a war by choosing her land-dwelling love and rejecting her place among her people. Now her husband and his clan are dying of a virulent plague, and Atuale's sole hope for finding a cure is to travel off-planet. The one person she can turn to for help is the black market mercenary known as the World Witch, Atuale's former lover. Time, politics, bureaucracy, and her own conflicted desires stand between Atuale and the hope of her adopted clan. This sounds really, really intriguing, even without the fact that Shauna Maguire blurbed the front, and I do frequently enjoy the things that Shauna Maguire recommends. So it's of course really short. It's only like 112 pages or something like that. So I can try it, get through it really quick, and I'm very excited to pick it up. And then I have my 2 nonfiction books, both of which were recommended to me by the same person. And we do have a good chunk of overlap in our interests, so I'm very excited to try these out. But the first is Origin, A Genetic History of the Americas by Jennifer Raff. And this is looking at the history of the peoples of America and how they immigrated here and when and all of that kind of stuff using the human genome. And I am really excited to get into this because my understanding, although this could be, take it with a grain of salt because it's been a while since I had the conversation, but my understanding is that a lot of times when people look at the history of people, the movement of peoples in the America, it's not full and complete, in part because it's looked at by people who don't want to feel bad because they're part of the colonizing group. And so it's not, the science frequently isn't done well, or they ignore parts of the science when they're aggregating into a theory. And Jennifer Raff does not necessarily do that and actually tears apart people. Well, not tears apart, but like throws shade at people who do, is my understanding. I've obviously, once I get to this, I can let you know better, but yeah, I'm really excited for this one. And then the other one that she recommended was Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake, How Fungi Make Our Worlds, Change Our Minds, and Shape Our Futures. And this is really just about fungi and like how they work and how they're far more complicated, complex than most people know and understand. So again, I have a lot of overlap in interests with this person, and so I think that this is probably going to work really well for me, and I am excited to get to it. And that's it. Those are all the books that I currently have checked out from the library. I am trying so desperately hard to not pick up anything else, and I don't know that that's going to be possible, but I am excited to get to all of these. I hope that I can get to them all very soon, although the likelihood is that some of these are going to go back unread, but the hope is that I get to all of them. But that is it. So if you have any thoughts or feelings about any of the books that I mentioned, especially if you think I should prioritize some over others, please let me know in a comment down below. But that is all I have. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!